all of you. Welcome to the class 1 for the GST batch, which we have started today. Now, there are some queries regarding the timings and all. So, just give me 5 minutes. We will start with the actual class as quickly as possible. But few things need to clarify now. And the first one out of that is 1 second, dear students. Okay. Now, these classes we have started from today, that is 2nd of April, and by 22nd April, we will complete this. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, I will take care of the CA CMA all in detail. We have the test papers also for every chapter, like time of supply, value of supply combined, first chapter and second chapter. So, you will be writing chapter wise exams wherein I'll take care and I'll tell you this is asked in MCQs, this is asked in your, the case scenarios for CA students, and there will be exclusive custom class for the CMA students. These classes will be completely in English. Daily class will be for 2.5 hours. If you are joining this practice batch live, then there is no fee. But if you want a recording, already we have shared in the group, you have to pay an amount. Now, those who have joined this batch must have got GST 200 pages material PDF. It's my request to go to the website and order these two set of books, that is DT and GST. Nothing more. We are charging 2 copies of book, printing and the courier charges, but you will get the concept, the question answers, the examples, everything in depth. Okay, right. Timings, I'm keeping it on hold 2.5 hours now because most of our writing the BCom exam also starting from 6th of April. So let me discuss with everyone whatever. I can take it either 11 to 1:30 or 6 to 8:30. So we'll take a vote and whatever is best suitable. Okay. Other than this, recording is going on for one shot revision videos and all, right? Okay. So this is any more queries for the batch? Yes. So many of final students, especially CMA final students, have opted for DTIDT practice batch. Nothing I'm doing for marketing, but honestly, I know what is asked in the final. So this will help you to build a superb base for final also. Okay, right. Yeah, this is also applicable for September 25 CA exam, but there will be, of course, some more amendments which will come in the next notifications, and that all separate PDF material and separate class will be given. Chalo, that's all for it. Now have a look at your material which we have given you, right? This is your GST material, right? Volume 2. It's very easy, not because I am teaching GST, but DT is vast. When you talk, the vastest in the DT is your capital gain, TDS, TCS, and deductions. These are the 3 chapters. You should also put more inputs. Okay. Rest all is easy to score, and most easiest, if you ask me, like set off carry forward. It is just 4 pages and one separate question is asked for 7 marks. I am literally saying with my teaching experience that set off carry forward has got a weightage equal to your capital gain chapter, or padhai usse 1/4 hai. So take care of this. This material is including all the amendments which are required for May and June 2025 exam, along with question answers and examples also for amendment. Okay, so that we have taken care. For September, of course, some more. Acha. Now there are some topics which are there only for the CA exam, so that will be taken separately. So some topics are there like TDS, TCS and all. So we will take care of that. Now when I talk about your syllabus, the first thing, it's not possible कि okay, this is important in exam, dear students, this is a practice batch. Let us start with input tax credit, or let us start with time of supply, value of supply, 7 marks question fix. It's not possible. So please see to it that the way we are doing it is workable. it is bringing results. In the last 2 decades, I have been teaching PCC, IPCC, CA Inter. You know why it has worked? Today's class allow me to build a base of the GST. Tomorrow, I will take up all the definitions. In every study materials, every chapter, they have given definition: who is supplier, who is recipient, what is consideration, what is inter. So one class we will spare and we will complete all the definitions at a time. Okay, so that when I start with supply, then section 7, section 8, then section 9 RCM, section 10 composition, exemptions, this is the flow of the class. Okay, so one by one topic we will finish. Study material backside, major questions I have taken up from the CMA CA study material, and past exams, very nice questions from January 25, from May 24, from December 24, that are also covered in this material. More than this, if you want to practice, just practice the past exams and the NTP's question paper, and any academy material, anywhere you have doubt, click the picture, send it in the challenges group. We'll surely clear it with a voice note. So it's very easy now. Yeah, one more thing very important, that sections. Important sections I'll make you learn. It's my duty to join the batch or not, and to choose Dipti ma'am that consistently she will take the class chapter wise exam and complete the portion. Then you have trusted me. Thank you so much. Now it's together that we are going to bring great result. But making you learn important sections, leave it to me. And if you're little doubtful, ma'am, supply ka section 7(1) A tha, B tha, then don't quote the sections. Quoting the sections is like 3D, 5D makeup. किया तो बहुत अच्छा है, otherwise we are looking good. Followed all of you, right? So your first chapter which we are going to do is like GST's introduction. Know the terms, know the flow, who is working, how it is going to work. Okay, now GST is basically charged on goods sold or services given. That all is covered under supply. Ma'am, then what about import of goods? What about export? So supply includes your services and goods. How? All that we will discuss in supply. Okay, now decided that we are going to supply goods and service, so we have to charge goods and service tax. But at what rate? Section 9. Yeah, rates are to given in the schedule, but the chargeability, the levy of the GST. Okay, ma'am, can I go for composition? Yes, section 10. Here we will study. I want all of you also to scribble. In fact, if you feel you're copying, copying karo. No one should listen to my class without the printout of this PDF. If you have opted for, you have filled up the form, you've got the PDF in your mail. If not, I'm again saying go for this book, 200 pages, it's worth it. Chalo. So section 7 for the supply and section 8 for the composite and mixed supply we'll do. Then, okay, chalo, GST lagana hai na? Charge it as per section 9 on forward charge. Oh, then will come reverse charge. Then will come few people who are small. They will say, we don't want to go in this hodgepodge output input. Then go for composition. Okay, right. Then GST should be charged where you have boarded a flight from Hyderabad and you're going to land in Jaipur, and midway in the flight you have ordered some snacks, some books, whatever. Now, where is the GST going to be charged? GST is a destination based tax. How, what, that will be covered in the coming 2 hours, right? Then certain goods, certain services are there on which GST is not charged, like basic services in hospitals, basic services in schools. On that, GST is not charged. Some basic goods, right, dal, milk products, army products, no. So they are all covered in exemptions. Time of supply, at what stage? See, you are ordering the goods, I'm making the bill, I'm supplying you the goods, you are receiving the goods. There is so much procedure in purchase and sale. So at which point the GST is chargeable, that is called as time of supply. Some of you may be, ma'am, ye dono same nahi hai. Place of supply is where GST is a destination based tax. If I have supplied the goods from Hyderabad to Mumbai, Mumbai, we are going to charge the GST, right? Time of supply is kab, at which stage? Value of supply. When I am supplying you goods, there is subsidy, there is some additional interest, penalty, blah, blah. I will make the bill very big. So, in that, on what amount GST is to be charged, that's such this chapter. Ma'am, I am into teaching. Okay, I'm giving my own example. See, dear students, I'm into teaching. I'm collecting fees from all of you with GST. And I am also paying GST. Yeah, on the laptop purchased, on the camera, on the Zoom, on my cloud storage, on my phone expenses, the person whom I'm hiring, agency. So there are so many expenses in teaching also. So have I also paid the GST on the camera, on the laptop, on this touchscreen marker and all? Yes. So what is allowed to be set off? That is called as ITC, right? Okay, now we know that this is the flow of the GST. Shall we get registered ourselves in the GST? Yes. Sometimes voluntary, sometimes mandatory, sometimes optional. तो ये सब आएगा आपका registration. Now, documents. GST is charged on invoice, but it's not an ordinary invoice. I am writing that with thanks I have received from Rani this bill amount. No, no. It has to be a proper tax invoice with GST registration number, date, things and all. That will be covered in documentation. Accounts and records, what you have to make. Whenever your turnover exceeds 5 crores and all, ये सब मैं orally बोल रही हूँ, just as if a new song you are listening. I'm discussing the syllabus with you all. So, e-way bill. What is e-way bill? Yeah, just as and how the goods are going out from my godown for delivery, I'm loading it into the truck or the tempo or whatever. I need to generate an e-invoice, e-way bill from government's portal, right? For payment of taxes, everything is online, right? So for payment of the taxes, we have bank account. For shares, we have demat account. In the same way, we have electronic ledgers on the portal. Every dealer registered GST person is having. So that we will use. TDS, TCS is a small part applicable only for CA students. Then everyone who is a registered GST provider, is a supplier of goods or services, should file monthly return, yearly return, annual return. So all the types of returns are covered here. That's all. Custom is a pretty simple portion, fixed 7 marks question and 1 MCQ for CMA students. Yeah. CMA students don't have case scenario. Only MCQs are there, 15 into 230. Separately, one day I will discuss the paper pattern. Okay. Right now, for CA students, there is lot of ये क्या है क्या है मतलब what is case scenario? Case scenario is nothing but just a question. For example, we will pick up value of supply. This is added in the value, this is deducted, this is ignored. So just it's the problem only. Every step of the problem is splitted into made 1 MCQs, 6 MCQs, 6 mark, or 3 MCQs, 2 mark each. Are you getting? कैपिटल गेन का एक प्रॉब्लम होता है ना, सेल कंसिडरेशन माइनस इंडेक्स कॉस्ट. You all have done income tax, right? Net index, how much is the exemption? That's asked in the form of case scenario. Your first answer is the sale consideration or 50C stamp duty, whichever is higher. Your second one is the index cost. Your third one is the capital gain. Your fourth MCQ answer is the exemption. Sell the house. So this is it. Don't get bogged down. But only request for all of you is, truly I'm saying, all the teachers are giving goods notes, colored food notes and PDFs and material, everything. हर टीचर अच्छे नोट्स दे रहे हैं आपको. You please stick to one teacher per subject so that you can interlink the subject knowledge, the topic knowledge. I hope you are getting. It's very important. No, Dipti ma'am's labor topic is good. इसका overhead अच्छा है, इसका capital gain अच्छा है. One day before the exam you will mess up बेटा. Don't do that mistake. And another important thing, ठीक है चलो बस है इतना. Got an idea? It's a very simple portion. Every chapter is having concept, question answers, examples in the way they are asked in exam. Like if you talk about supply chapter, there is not a single question and answer to be solved, but they are simply asking you to comment, is this supply or is it exempt in schedule 3 or is it this? So you have to answer in a conceptual way, understanding the question, analyze it and give your conclusion. So that's it for the GST portion. Okay, right. So let us start now with introduction. Any doubt until now in your portion in the way I'm saying? समझ में आ रहा है या नहीं? Then you can use the chat box or you can put the thumbs up. All clear, superb explanation. Thank you so much. Okay, chalo. Now, first chapter is not to be ignored because they are literally asking hand-picked theory question. Features of GST. How does the GST Council work? I'll tell you at the end. And especially in CA also, you can say one question is asked. If you're writing CMA exam, I'll say for both, okay? Years I have been teaching both, so I know where is the difference, where to take it together. Now, those who are doing CMA exam, I can't say how much. One full theory question is there. Every question is for 15 marks, 6 and 7 marks, 7 and 8 marks from chapter 1. Okay. So, chapter 1, our target is to do two things today. Okay. One is to make ourselves comfortable with the term, how GST moves. Second is to learn the theory. I'm going to make you understand and then I'm going to make you learn. Today term na aise GST is a value added tax. It's a destination based tax. It is this. These words should be there in your answer sheet to get marks. Once you qualify, it's everything you will get all softwares and all to compute your GST and books and ITRs. But till you qualify, you have to write 3 hours of exam and 15 minutes of reading time. Only thing lacking with hardworking, brilliant student is the writing practice, right? So let us begin and every day promise me if you feel that these live classes are worth it. I'm not charging anything. My Guru Dakshina will be don't go to sleep without writing a 10 minutes test. Today you have studied 5 pages in law. Pick up any MTP, RTP or any past exam paper या study material के ही पीछे का one question without checking stopwatch लगा के 7 minutes write it. 7 marks, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever time you want to say and then immediately self-correct. You will never come and say कि I'm not able to complete my question paper. Okay? Chalo. So you can do this for all the subjects, beta. I'm not going to the PDF which I have given you. Directly, I'm going from the beginning. Now, few things are written here. Whatever is required, I'll pause and I'll allow you to write. Okay. In India, we are paying two kind of the taxes. This basic we have done in income tax also, but something is required here also. The first kind of tax is the direct tax. On my own income, I am paying the tax. Yes, right? On my own income, I am paying the tax to the government. That's called as direct tax. Ma'am, there also TDS is there, no? Someone else has deducted my tax because he has generated income for me. I got commission from Raja. So Raja has deducted tax. But if I am teaching you all and I am earning income, then on that I am paying advance tax in 4 installments. So when you pay your tax on your own income, it is called as direct tax. In direct tax right now in India, we have only Income Tax Act 1961, Income Tax Rules 1962. Earlier there was wealth tax, gift tax. Now that is all not there. Coming to indirect tax, this marker is for 4,000 rupees. When I purchased, they said MRP inclusive of all taxes. MRP inclusive of all taxes, right? When this is inclusive of all taxes, am I paying GST also on this? GST is charged on goods and services all. तो इसमें 18%, 24.8% जो भी है, GST is included, yes. But am I paying the GST to the GST department? No, I purchased the marker from the HP showroom. So I paid them the price of the marker with the GST, and they did their output input. They must have purchased 100 marker and sold, and difference they have paid to government. So when the tax is going via through a third person, it is called as indirect. Ultimately, all the taxes are borne by consumer. You buy a tablet, you buy a mobile phone, you buy a pen, you buy a calculator. It's all inclusive of taxes, right? So we are only bearing, but we are not going to GST department. You all have paid fees to the concept classes for DT, IDT coaching and test series and all for purchase of book. You are paying me GST and then I'm paying to go. In indirect taxes, we have two taxes in India. One is GST, Goods and Service Tax Act 2017. It has started. And second, we still have customs. Custom duty is applicable on import and export. CA Inter, you don't have custom. CMA Inter, it's popcorn. एक ही टाइप के प्रॉब्लम आते हैं, स्टडी मटेरियल में से ही आता है, and there's a pattern also. You can make question paper pattern for CMA. I'll tell that separately. So I hope you are clear that custom is chargeable on import and export. But again, when I am importing goods, I am paying custom duty. Okay, but I am paying it indirectly, right? I am paying it to someone from whom I am purchasing. They are paying to. So whenever the taxes go indirectly, they are called as indirect taxes. It's a theory question. Now, today's class will look very interesting and easy for you. But I don't want to make it very makeup class. मैं कोई यहाँ launch नहीं कर रही हूँ movie. You have to allow your pen to flow. So somewhere you like or not, with lot of dominance, I'll say कि ये लिखना है आपको. You have to write like this to get marks when they ask you DT and IDT. Like I'll tell you, one thing is asked so much in MCQs also, that regressive tax and the progressive tax. Okay, right? So like these, there are terms. Better actually, उस पे अगर grip लाना है, तो we'll pause here and we'll check our material. Okay. Taxes are what we pay to government so that they run. Look at the screen now. This is the difference you have to write in exam. Direct tax, it is levied on person. Indirect tax is levied on goods and services. It's amount of tax which is directly paid on the income. It is decided indirectly. So many times we say these are inclusive of 18% GST and all. Here tax incidence is borne by same person. Here tax incidence passes on. वो value addition कैसे होगा? I'll tell you one question. Higher collection cost as tax collection is difficult. Collecting. See, income tax today also, after every installment in comes in newspaper, so and so celebrity or actor or cricketer or sportsman or whatever, he has paid this much crores of advance tax. So today also income tax is, few people are paying higher tax because they are earning good. Whereas the purpose of changing, making changes in income tax GSTs, they don't want few people to pay large chunk of tax. They want more people to pay little tax. Are you getting? Then the income tax base will become wider. That's why they give optional schemes. Somehow they're trying to bring you to the income tax. So many places your PAN card is necessary. I am not going to file my return. I am not going to pay any income tax. But then I have traveled to Thailand. I have spent 4 lakh rupees into with my authorized dealers, and I've got currency converted for my Thailand trip with my family. Pata chal gaya. In your 26 AS, you have to give your PAN details and it's auto drop. These are your high value transactions. You have purchased jewelry, you have paid to this hotel, you have gone to this club, you have done सब चिट्ठा है वहां पे. Many times, if you are there in my WhatsApp challenges group, I keep posting articles which are very important practically. Like we have in, अब तो पता नहीं सब देखते हैं नहीं, in CID we have a forensic department, Savan ke, right? So that's the same with income tax. Income tax is having many other ways to track the information. I can talk about it 30 minutes more, but this much is enough. We want to stick back to what is distinguished between DT and ITT. So there is a lot of higher collection of cost here. GST is simplified. Everything is on one click of a button on the portal, right? Okay. Even DT we have portal now, but GST is very simpler. This word you have to by heart to get marks in exam. जैसे हम घर की शादी में 3D 5D makeup we do know, like that you have to do makeup of your answer sheet. Direct taxes are progressive in nature. The higher you earn, the higher you pay. Indirect taxes are regressive in nature. Now, what does this mean? Direct taxes are progressive. Oh, your income is above 50 lakhs, pay surcharge. Oh, your income is above 5 crore, pay 37% surcharge. So, tax on tax surcharge and on tax plus surcharge, 4% health and education cess. Maze karo. Because you are having 5 crore rent. Whereas whether I am buying this pen as a teacher or some student is buying it for learning or anyone, say this mobile phone can be purchased by my cook also, same GST, by me also, same GST, followed or not. So on product and services, the GST is, it's like regressive, same. All the consumers are treated as same, except for some sin goods. There are some sin goods like cigarette, tobacco, higher electronic goods, luxurious goods, but government doesn't want to encourage. So on that, not only GST is charged, they will charge GST compensation cess. Now, what is that? I'll tell you in coming 10-15 minutes. But that's it. Income tax is to completely progressive. Oh, you earn more, you can afford to pay more tax. Simple. How are our slabs also? Whether you are going out of default or default, देखो कैसे हैं हमारे slab 0 to 250 no 250 to 5 lakh 5% that to rebate. Yeah. Oh, you are earning above 10 lakh 30% दो. Oh, you are in the default tax regime. You are earning above 15 lakhs 30% दे दो tax. So that is the difference. I'm trying to say good examples so that in the class itself you learn it. Next is example of direct tax is income tax and indirect tax is the GST and custom. Okay. This example I want all of you to write in your notebook, not like this. I will make you write. Okay. So that's all for the difference in direct tax. Wherever you have doubt, you can unmute and speak irrespective that recording is going on, or you can put a message in chat box. ठीक है ना? कभी-कभी I get time because lot of problems I'm doing. अच्छा. We are following in India Income Tax Act 1961. हमारे जमाने में वो भिड़े बोलता है ना. So those people have gone. Then who is governing the Income Tax Act in India? CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes and Custom. Who is governing indirect taxes in India? Yeah, right. It's CIBIC, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Custom. They call it as CIBIC. Okay, right. Now, in GST, very important is we don't talk about goods and services. We call it as supply. That's the name of our chapter 2. And there we have section 7 of the CGST Act. एग्जाम में ऐसे पक्का लिख के आना सेक्शन 7 of the CGST Act 2017. हाँ, so supply of goods and services. Whether you sell goods or you charge services. See what was there, I'll tell you earlier what was happening. Suppose I give my vehicle for servicing before the GST came in 2017. It's applicable to whole of India from 1st of July 2017. Jammu and Kashmir 1 week late, but it's applicable to whole of India. All 28 states, union territory, सबको applicable है. पहले क्या होता था, if I'm giving my car, okay, my eco sports car I'm giving for servicing. So on the job work, on the services, they would charge service tax होता था, okay. But if they have changed engine oil, they have changed brake liner, they changed my complete gearbox, I got tires new. So these are the change of the goods. So in that same bill, whatever services they have provided, service tax, whatever goods, VAT. Now, at few places, it was very difficult. Imagine me teaching you all DT and GST for 3,000 rupees. In that, services of teaching also, and the supply of the books also. Now, book sale, VAT, services, service tax. You go to a branded salon for hair coloring. You pay 1,500 rupees for hair coloring. Now, actually, 1,500 rupees you are not paying only for service of hair coloring. In that 1,000 rupees bottle of L'Oreal they'll use, followed or not. So there's supply of goods, supply of services. So they combined and they said whether you supply goods or whether you supply services, they are all covered in the supply. And that's what is the definition. Okay. That's why we in the GST we call it as supply, not the sale of goods or supply of services separately. Okay. VAT and service tax is not there since we started here. What are the taxes subsumed? Abhi in the last exam they have asked January 25. हाँ कितने बार ये theory question भी आता है आपको आ जाओ. You want to write these running notes? I feel they are very easy. Zarat nahi hai, this is just for me writing base building. Where table I am going to make that I'll make you write also. Dekho. Now there are two parties involved in the supply of goods and services. Seller is called as supplier. Buyer is called as recipient. He may be recipient of goods also. He may be recipient of services also. Okay, right? Now here comes the role of, ma'am, what is output tax and what is input tax and what is value added tax in GST? Cascading effect. These all terms will be clear. Okay. Now say we have sold the goods, we are manufacturers. We have sold the goods of 100 rupees, 18% GST. 118. Okay, right? Now from us, buyer has purchased it. His purchase value is only 100, not 118. Buyer paid me 118, but he's saying his purchase value is 100 and he will keep 18 rupees separate what he has paid me GST, called as input GST, favorably known as ITC. चैप्टर का नाम है चैप्टर नंबर 6 का. If I am selling to you, you are a registered person. Just understand, by this example, I'll cover up two theory question. What are the features of GST? What are the advantages? Yeah, and one more. What were the disadvantages earlier? ये मैं theory के लिए आपको example बता रही हूँ on screen. 18 rupees he has kept separate, saying that no, my purchase value is only 100. Okay, so I have supplied the goods to A. Now A, what he did, he added his expenses and profit. Array, A is buying in 100, but he is going to sell again in 150. No, he will add his own expenses and profit, which is called as value addition. So 100 rupees he purchased, 18 he will keep separate. What's the purchase value or journal entry recorded? Purchase account debit 100, input tax credit debit 18 to Dipti ma'am. He has to pay me 118, but his purchase is only 100. 18 he is keeping separate. Okay, right. Now, after this, he has sold it for 150. Now pick up your calculators. We are assuming same rate of GST. 15 into 18%. A has sold it to B, 15 into 18%, 27. Okay. Now A has sold the goods to B. So what is the output tax for A? 27. 27 he has collected from B. And 18, I know for some of you it will be very simple. Some of you are struggling to get it. There are so many of you who are watching as recording daily video. You're working and watching. So I'm making it balanced for everyone. Okay. So keep patience if you are a fast follower. So for A, what is the output tax he has collected from B? 27. How much he himself has paid? 18. From his pocket, how much GST he has to pay? 9. And exactly if you check how much value addition he has done, 50. 50 rupees का 18% करो कैलकुलेटर में. दीप्ति मैम ना गलती करते हैं कैलकुलेशन में, so you should calculate yourself. 50 into 18%, it's coming to 9. Again, we'll continue the chain. B has sold to C. I'll give you time to write example. Don't think मैम तो पढ़ा रहे, मैं तो साथ साथ में लिख भी लेता हूँ. अरे मैं भी तो कंटिन्यू बोल रही हूँ, मुझे भी तो ब्रेक चाहिए. I also need a break. So first understand it. Now B. What's the purchase value for B? 150. Again B will take 27 as input tax credit. Again B will add its own value. Manufacturing cost या packing जो भी उसका expense है और profit है. No one is working without profit, right or not? So B will add his expense and profit 100 and sell it for 250 to C. Again from C, 250 into 18%, 45. 45 minus 27, that's 80. What is the GST payable by B? Output tax is 45, input tax is 27 and 18. And just look at how much value addition B has done, 100 into 80. Now, if you look, I'll cover 3 important features. I'll give you time to write here everything. The first feature is GST is, मतलब आपके आंसर शीट में ये दिखते से you will get marks. GST is value added tax. Whoever is adding that value, he's paying tax on that, right or not? B has already purchased it for 150 and he has paid 27. How much value he did? 100. So 100 पे खुद के pocket से tax pay किया. Second is GST is transparent. You know, when B is paying to government 18 rupees, government is reversing. Oh, at 18%, B is paying 18 rupees. His value addition. उसका कॉस्ट और प्रॉफिट वैल्यू एडिशन इज 100. ओ उप्स, ये कहां से चले गया? 1 सेकेंड ना. Now see, come back to A please. A is saying how much tax I am paying from my pocket? 9 rupees. That too on 18%. तो 18% के हिसाब से 9 rupees. You can do ना 9 into 100 divide by 18. ऐसे ही करते हैं ना हम. 9 into 100 divided by 80. You are exactly getting. Oh, B, your value addition. A, your value addition is 50. That's why it's called GST is a value added tax. GST is transparent. GST is very simple to calculate. Output minus. Now, you know, when I say output minus input, students get doubt. You know what? In detail, what I'm explaining in the coming 5 minutes is 6th chapter. But her chapter linked है GST में. And the best part of linking and learning is repetition. तो repeat होते होते एग्जाम में पेन फ्लो होगी. ये देखो, when I'm saying output minus input is my tax payable. Ma'am, if input is 12%, output is 18%, चलेगा. There's no rate to rate matching. Ma'am, input I have purchased A and B. And output I have sold some different thing only. A and B say I decided to make C, but I didn't say sell C. Purana D pada to. No matching of goods, no matching of rate. Just input tax and output tax difference you have to pay. Isn't it? That's why very simpler. They are not saying 18% should matter. Ma'am, I have purchased within the state, Hyderabad. I'm in Hyderabad, Telangana. I have purchased within the state, but I'm selling to Chennai. Interstate, intrastate, chalega, chalega. Ma'am, I have purchased from Mumbai and I'm selling locally in Hyderabad, stationery and choice. Chalega. My output is local. Ito chalega. Now, what are the kinds of taxes? That's what we are going towards next. I hope you are getting like onion peel, ek cheese we are opening up. If you feel you are understanding the concept, And if you are feeling that you are understanding the term, my job is done. ठीक है? एक बार वापस देखो ये example, and like this 2 examples are printed in your book, वो भी देखेंगे. I'll give you a break after 15 more minutes. 1 hour के बाद break होता है. Okay. So you got it that it's a value added tax, it's transparent, it's simple. It's a destination based tax. This I will prove ahead also. Destination based tax. जहां पे उसका फाइनल टैक्स होगा ना, वहीं पे उनका कलेक्शन होगा. If I am selling the goods from Hyderabad to Mumbai, Maharashtra, then Mumbai is where the tax is going to go, value added tax. Okay? Right. अब वो कैसे होगा destination based, which state will get for that also. Old time, what it was happening. See, dear students, 5 marks they have asked in exam. Show with an example how cascading effect is removed in GST. First of all, ma'am, what do you mean by cascading effect? Is you are paying tax on tax. Abhi, the example which I discussed, am I paying tax on tax? No. Output minus input, whatever is value addition, and abhi to I did A to B, B to C. You can do till XYZ. C or 200 rupees apna profit. Whoever is adding his profit, that much value of tax he is paying out of his pocket. But in old tax, what was the old tax? Central sales tax, जब interstate होता था. For state VAT, AP VAT, Andhra Pradesh VAT, Maharashtra VAT, ऐसे होता था. And service tax was there, right? Okay. So that time I remember once in Inter they had 4 kind of taxes. Income tax भी रहता था, service tax भी था, CST भी था और custom भी था. That time also students have become CA. Every time the struggle is, I'm not saying you all are not struggling, but in before COVID, in COVID also, maybe late, but exams हुए, लोगों ने exam clear किए. I think we should be far above our environment and problems, huh? Just to motivate you all, I'm saying this is fact. Chal. Now, what do you mean by cascading effect or tax and tax? I want to discuss with all of you old model, and then I'll give you time to write better. Same values I will take. A has sold the goods to B, 118, 180. Okay. Now, A ने खरीदा, sorry, हाँ, 100, 118 में. A added its value, same, 50 rupees. And A has sold to B 168. Now, what's the difference above and here? Here we have kept 150 separate and 18 separate. Are you getting? Huh? B is saying my purchase is 150. In the cascading, B is saying I'm not getting any input tax credit for the CST central tax paid and all. Then I will say my cost is 100 plus 18 plus 50, 168. I'm again repeating, A has sold the goods to B. B is saying my cost is not 100 or 118 and 50, it's 168. But 168 mein B has paid to A 18 rupees tax. But B is not getting any credit input tax. So he's adding. Now again same. B will add his profit. पहले तो 18% tax करके. Okay. So how much tax A is paying to government? 18. When A has, मतलब जिससे भी A ने खरीदा है, पहले तो government को 18 rupees ऊपर मिला. Now A has sold the goods to B. So how much government is getting? 30. I'm repeating, when A is selling the goods to B, 30 rupees he is collecting and paying to government. A is not saying 30 minus 18 difference I will pay. ऐसे नहीं होता. 30. Now B. B is purchasing in 198. अरे मैम, बट B has purchased 198, उसमें 168 और 30 तो टैक्स है. कोई नहीं, नो इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट. B के लिए परचेज वैल्यू इज 198. What I'm writing now is explanation that I don't want you to write. ये अच्छा लिखा है. Now B has sold it with 100 rupees 298. Now apply. On 298 selling price 54 rupees tax. 298 pay 18%. 18% is 54. So B is selling the goods to C. B will collect from C 298 plus 54 and pay the 54 to government. Here how much tax government was getting? देखो एक बार 9 and then 18. 27. First 18. A ने भी तो पे किया ना 18. Then 9. And then again 18. I hope you are getting. 45 rupees tax government is getting. Here government is getting 18. Then full 30. Then full 54. 18 plus 30 plus 54. That is coming to 102. That's why there are so many states who are first against. In VAT, they are going to lose. State is not going to get so much of tax. Only 50 rupees. Now it's only the difference. Earlier, to 18 is K through government. B K through 30. C K through 54. 102 kahan? Or what's the total here? 45. Huh? So to compensate this, government said, okay, some of the undesirable items. Now I will introduce the goods compensation cess. Government said we are going to charge GST at different rates. Daily consumer items 5% GST, 12%, 18%, 24%, 3%. Okay. But there are some sin goods which we don't want to encourage. Luxurious electronics, imported bikes and cars when we purchase, or what else? Cigarettes, tobacco. These are called as demerit goods, sin goods. On this, government said we will charge GST also and GST compensation cess. Consumers are burdened. Yeah, just imagine we are paying so much of tax on one cigarette or on petrol. तो GST में नहीं है पर कितना सारा tax state को जा रहा है. So now this is extra knowledge you can search in Google also. But what is important here is all this money was going to the state. Now state is losing. So they said, okay, for few years we will collect extra tax. GST के above called as GST compensation cess. And we will reimburse state and government. We'll try to fill up that pit. But pit to kabhi bharta nahi hai. Whenever state are having losses, we know how it works. So when GST started in 2017, this is asked in MCQ. Notes में I'll mark. अभी मैं खुद से पढ़ा रही हूँ. Concept ध्यान से सुनो. So in 2017, when they started GST, they said along with GST, on some goods we will also collect goods compensation cess over and above GST, like an income tax surcharge. And then we will stop by 22. I think from 17 to 22 is enough time to fill up the pit, and then we will stop. But now in 22, again they said goods and compensation cess is still going to be chargeable for 4 more years till 2026. This is the latest amendment. All amendments I have given in a different way in your material. लिख के दिया है लेटेस्ट अमेंडमेंट. मैम तो 2026 तक ये लोग कंपेंसेशन सेस चार्ज करेंगे या. But now after extending the date, now center has said enough states, we have reimbursed you enough. Now we are not going to do anything. You look where you want. And there are so many products which are still outside GST and highest say, like liquor for human consumption, petrol, ATF. Huh? There are so many items on which state is trying marzi utna. Petrol cost is 50 rupees, तो उसके ऊपर 50 rupees तो tax है. Diesel. Also, all these items में, these are the items, they are not yet coming in GST. Ma'am, why? When every goods and service should be in GST, why this is not in GST? If this comes in the GST, who will compensate? State is getting highest of income in the sale of liquor and all. So still date, there are few products on which excise duty, old VAT is continuing. Yeah, this will all come in the material, but coming back to our example again. Cascading effect कैसे हुआ ये देखो. Because B was not taking ITC, look at the screen carefully. B is paying 18% tax on 100 plus 1850. So 18 tax is included in B's cost. B is saying, I'm not getting any ITC. I will say my cost is not 100 or 150. My cost is 160. Okay, on that, when we are charging 18%, are we charging tax on tax? B is saying my cost is 198. Arey B, you are paying 150 and 18 tax and 30 tax. So 18 tax and 30 tax. B is saying I'm not getting any ITC. Again, tax on tax. When 198 is sold and we are charging 18% on 298, 100 plus 50 plus 100 ये तो cost हुआ. But on 18 and 30, on 18 and 30 also we are charging 18%. Look at the final price here, 295. Look at the final price here, 352. Since I can say 2008-10 से चल रहा था, no, we have to get one nation, one tax. Yeah, one more feature you have to write in exam. I'll write here. That's the fifth one. That it is, uniform tax. Whether you are selling goods or your services, सब मिला जुला के one nation, one tax. One nation, one tax is one of the important feature of the GST. They are saying kuch bhi karo and you charge. Okay? One second. So it took time to realize the consumers also that ultimately things are going to come cheaper because tax on tax is avoided. That's all for this explanation. Take your notebook and ये green color में जो features है वो नहीं but A to B, B to C I want you to write. लिखो बेटा इसको. कैसे लिखोगे? Don't tell me मैम will take screenshot थोड़ा जल्दी जल्दी पढ़ाओ. एग्जाम में screenshot डाल दो फिर चलेगा. टैब लेके जाना घर से. Write down A to B and B to C. Even the cascading effect is asked. Finished writing? It's a value added tax. It's transparent. It's simple. It's destination based. One nation, one tax. और फिर तब आत्मनिर्भर ये वो 5-6 points you write, no, you will get good marks. A to B, B to C. Only this much. Now write down this. ऐसे दूर दूर खुद से बनाते जाओ. 100, 118, 50, 168, whatever. See, these are my explanations. At least you write the main example. How the government is losing money. This is called as cascading effect or old model of VAT or CST or tax on tax. Now, two more concepts and then we will shift to our material. I can make this class so interesting by giving you all the figures कि GST का collection 24-25 में इतना है, ये है, वो है. But somewhere overloaded information is also not good. Better go exam oriented. That's what I feel. Concepts, of course, should be clear. Done? Sure. Now see, there are two ways of paying the tax. Say A is the seller, B is the buyer. A is collecting the tax and paying to government. Who? Seller. Okay. A, the seller, is collecting and paying the tax to government. This is called as FCM, forward charge mechanism. These are like terms or abbreviations in your material. Even in exam, they give that this person is paying tax on RCM. Ma'am, RCM kya tha? Yeah. So when the seller is registered and he is collecting the tax 18 rupees from the buyer and paying to government, then it is called as seller is registered and he should pay the tax under forward charge mechanism. Next is, say A is unregistered. A is a seller. A is a seller, but he is unregistered. Okay? And he has to pay the tax to buyer. Okay? A is unregistered and he has to pay the tax to buyer. I mean, say he's selling the goods, but he's unregistered. So this time now what will happen? Buyer is registered. So buyer will have to bear the tax also and pay the tax also. Take your time to understand. Buyer is registered. So buyer will pay 118 rupees he will purchase from A. But A to cannot charge. See, if you're unregistered and if you're charging GST and paying GST and all, it's a crime. It's like evasion of tax. खुद ही registered नहीं हो, किसने आपको right दिया to collect the tax? But buyer is registered. So buyer will bear 18% tax and he will pay to government. And can he take the ITC? Answer is yes. But this method of payment is called as RCM. That is reverse charge mechanism. You want to draw the flow chart, then do, or you want to do. I want to give an example of RCM. RCM is the name of third chapter. Section 9, clause 3 we will do, करेंगे. But अभी देखो कैसे. For example, I am a छोटा मोटा cab service provider. I am proprietor. I am having 3 cabs. I am not registered under GST. My turnover is less than 20 lakhs. but I am giving cab service to a company. Now, whenever you give cab service, am I a service provider? Yes. Should I charge 18% GST on the cab bill to company? Yes. I am not able to charge because I am unregistered. Government wants GST. Indirect tax collection is like highest GST if you check the proportions and all the data. Right? Okay. Hmm. Now see indirect taxes. So now listen to this example again. I'm providing the cab service. There was some disturbance. चलो फिर से करते हैं. I'm the cab service provider. I'm a छोटा मोटा service provider. My yearly collection does not exceed 20 lakhs, so I'm not registered. And ma'am 20 lakh registration की अरे रुको registration chapter आएगा तो I'll tell you there is 20 lakh, there is 40 lakh, how the registration is done right now. So, but I'm providing cab service to a company and the company is registered. So even though company is, I am the supplier, company is the recipient of the service, they will bear on 100 rupees 18 rupees GST and they will pay it to government and they can take ITC also. It's not if I will collect and pay, then only you can take ITC. Then I am registered, then it's forward charge mechanism. I am seller, you are buyer. Got it? I am supplier, you are recipient. But when the recipient is going to bear it, okay, and he is only going to pay it because I am unregistered, then that mode of payment is called as RCM. In reverse charge mechanism, the recipient is bearing GST, taking ITC, and he's only paying. Is this clear to you? Indirectly, government is saying, okay, if I am registered, you are unregistered, no GST. I am registered, you are unregistered, FCM. I am unregistered, you are registered, pay RCM. Government is saying either I should pay tax or you should pay tax. We want tax. We want GST collection. That's the simple logic. For that, I have shared with all of you this example. Okay? एक बार ये देखो क्लियर है ना ऑन स्क्रीन. A is selling the goods to buyer, A is the seller, B is the buyer. Okay. See these all terms. Then when I go to third chapter and tell you we are starting now with RCM, e-commerce operator will pay the tax, I will not explain what is RCM. That's why this introduction class is necessary. Here seller is unregistered, then buyer will pay the tax. But can he claim ITC? Yes. Okay. Now the second last term. अब दो terms बचे हैं जो मैं आपको notebook से पढ़ा रही हूँ. The first one is what do you mean by interstate sale? When seller is in one state, say Telangana, buyer is in another state, say Maharashtra, it is called interstate sales and IGST is levied. It's not just 18%. Example I have given. Integrated goods and service tax. Integrated goods and service tax is levied on interstate sale. Okay, right. Now, when the seller is also in Hyderabad, the buyer is also in Hyderabad, then it is intrastate sale. Intrastate sale. Okay. What is intrastate sale? Within the same state. Then what are the two taxes which are levied? See, one more feature will be clear here of the GST that it's a dual model tax. मैम ये डुअल मॉडल क्या होता है? देखो मैंने आपको लर्न करा दिए पूरे फीचर्स. It's a value added tax, transparent, simple, destination based tax, one nation, one tax, uniform tax rates, and it's a dual model tax. You know what is dual model tax? GST tax, a part should go to center, a part should go to state. Okay? Right? It's called as a dual model tax. But when it is intra-state, within the same state, then 9% is going CGST to the center, 9% is going to the state, State Goods and Service Tax Act, or UTGST, Union Territory GST Act, Central GST Act, right or not? So intra-state sale. When it is interstate, then IGST is linked. Okay, at 18%. If it is intrastate, split the tax. That's why it is called as dual tax. You know, when we are doing state and state, center ko kya karna hai? Center is saying we are not collecting anything CST, VAT and all. So 50% tax will go to the center of this transaction so that they will work, and 50% will come to state. That's why the states which were having huge income, there are some states, for example, we can say Maharashtra. Though Delhi is the capital, but we know Maharashtra, Mumbai is leading, it's growing in every aspect, business, services, export. So they are saying why we should share so much of our state ka business to center. That was the objection when GST started, right? This is the pumping heart of GST, covered in first chapter, third chapter, sixth chapter, seventh chapter. चलते ही रहेगा, चलते ही रहेगा. Ma'am, can we set off input GST in output GST? Answer is yes. एकदम लॉजिक से अंडरस्टैंड करो. Nothing to write and nothing to ratify. ये देखो. Why input GST? I'm staying in Hyderabad. I purchased the goods from Delhi to Hyderabad. Now I am selling it from Hyderabad to Chennai. Is it interstate purchase, input IGST? Yes. Is it interstate sale, output IGST? Yes. But ma'am, I purchased from Delhi to Hyderabad. I paid IGST. And now this is Hyderabad to Hyderabad. Hyderabad to Hyderabad. Input क्या है? IGST. Output क्या है? CGST or SGST? Or CGST and UTGST for Union Territories, right? Is it allowed to be set off? Yes. Now, input CGST and IGST. That means within the state we are buying and within the state we are selling. So input CGST, can we set off an output CGST अगर within the state है? इंट्रास्टेट समझ में आ रहा है? हैदराबाद के हैदराबाद, सीजीएसटी, सीजीएसटी, एसडीएसटी, एसडीएसटी, यूटीजीएसटी, यूटीजीएसटी अलाउड है या? अच्छा, you purchased within the state, CGST you paid, and then interstate you are selling. ये सब 6th chapter में we will do question answer. Your compulsory question in CMA or CA exam, the first one for 8 marks is this only. But base building, आज से गाना सुनोगे तो lyrics learn हो जाएंगे. Input CGST, output CGST can be set off. Input SGST, output SGST, input UTGST, output. ये चलेगा. But what about the input CGST and output IGST allowed? Only thing which cannot be set off is CGST and SGST because they are on same side. ये देखो. Interstate allowed. State allowed. CGST, CGST. CGST and IGST allowed. You're purchasing within the state CGST and you're selling to Chennai IGST allowed. But CGST and SGST cannot be set off mutually. There are diagrams for this in our material also. Now here we will take a 5 minutes break. Whenever you're watching recording or live, you should not be in front of screen for more than 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes. हाँ काफी हम ऐसे ना एक टक देखते हैं to screen, to mobile, to laptop और जैसे भी आप देख रहे हैं we blink our eyes less. So that's why even in studies when 15-20 minutes of studies and you are having a window or anything, look far off. This is a superb eye exercise. When you're looking nearby, look far off. Okay? Right? So take a quick break. Pani pi ke aao, hawa kha ke aao. 1 hour more and I'll be done with theory because I have all covered half of the materials theory with all these examples. Any suggestions for the speed or for the notes for anything? Only thing, one minus point I'm sharing from my side is my writing is not good because while I write, I put lot of एनर्जी इन द एक्सप्लेनेशन. और बिना एक्सप्लेनेशन के पहले से सोच के नोट्स बना दो, ऐसे नहीं होता है. When I am explaining on the spot, I am writing the notes. But my students have given the feedback, Dipti ma'am, because your writing is not good, once you fill up the board, we cannot understand. They are more attentive. When I am reading the question, abhi to we'll do question answer na. When I am reading the question, you have to read question. When I am writing, I will say also. So if writing is not clear, listen and write. Focus more, you will be able. Okay, all of you are back from the break, and very, very important is I know exactly 1 month is left for the CA exam, and exactly 2 months are left for the CMA exam, right? So, along with 2.5 hours you're spending with me, and not more than 20 minutes of revision after the class. मैं learning करा दूंगी आपको, but you have to spare this much time with me. Other than this, how you are going to spend your day? Okay, write for once that in this week. Okay, it has to be done on the 1st of April, but today is 2nd of April. Still, okay, this week we are going to do this subject, this much time. Plan. Okay, maybe here and there 80% done, 20% not done. Okay, right? So but sure you can do it. Okay. So what we have done until now, what's the difference in the direct tax, indirect tax? What is supply? Tomorrow's class, as I said, I'm not going to start directly with chapter 2, that is supplies, section 7(1)(a), and supply includes import of goods. It is hai, wo sab hai. Schedule 1, 2, 3, that's all a part of the second chapter. And very important is, as I said, we will start first half an hour with the definitions, which we are not going to do in every chapter. So to help me teach you fast and for you to understand and learn it at faster pace, homework today is, along with chapter 1, read chapter 2's initial definition. सिर्फ एक बार बस ऐसे read करके आना, you will follow the class better. Okay? And please decide with whom you are going to do your law, your costing. One subject, one teacher, one material. There will be n number of material coming in WhatsApp and Telegram, and they are all good. I'm literally saying I am also a teacher, and I'm seeing around me all the teachers are working very hard along with you. But whoever's language you understand, with whoever you gel and understand concept and link up the exams related thing, join with them. Huh? The coaching, and complete your target and make a plan. When you plan, no, you study in a better way. Chalo. Sharing now the material, साथ में करते हैं. चलो. Okay, in the material also same kind of example which I made you write is there. In the GST, like 100 rupees is sold to him at 110, right? And value added is 40 and 150. So he is going to, this is with CST, that is old one. Tax on tax, 110 पे 40 profit लगाया, 115 पे. Now 150 पे when you are charging 10% tax, you are actually charging on 140 and 10. So 10 is tax, and when you are charging 10%, you are charging tax on tax, right? Okay. Whereas in GST, what it is, when A is selling to B, B is keeping 10 rupees separate, and B say you're going to charge 40. So 10 minus 40, the difference. Okay. B is going to say that 100 rupees is my cost, not 110. Here 110 was your cost. Here 100 rupees is the cost, and 40 rupees what I have paid, I'll take credit. And then when A is selling to B, B will to take purchases as 100 and keep separate. But A is going to sell into B and collect 14 minus 10 and pay to government 4 rupees. Here 4 rupees is going to government. Here 10 and 15 both are going to go to government. So that's why in GST there is no cascading. This is a superb example asked a part of it in the MCQ. Say you are a manufacturer. You are buying your raw material, expenses, profit, and you're selling it in 15,000 and you're charging GST 2,700. So your invoice price is 17,700, but output tax is 2,700. Who is paying to government? A. Now A as a manufacturer is selling to B distributor. B distributor is saying मुझे ना 15,000 में आना है. Okay, right. मुझे ना 15,000 में आना है. B is saying. Though B is paying to A 2,700, that it is keeping separately. Now B is selling to C 15 ka 25. Adding 10,000 is profit and expense and 25. On 25, 4,500 is output GST, right? Now output minus input. B is selling in 4,500 and B is getting in 2,700. 1,800 B is paying. Look at it. Rate we have taken 18%. So B को already कितना addition किया है? Value addition, how much B has done? 10,000. 18%, 1,800. Now B has sold it to C. C got it for 25,000 and C has also paid 4,500. But C is not saying that my purchase value is 29,500. No, only 25,000 wholesaler. He's adding his profit and this and giving in 30,000 today. On 30,000, 18% is corrected and 35,400 is the invoice price. You know, you can give A and B and numbering and all. Now, C is collecting from D 5,400 is the output tax. But C has already paid 4,500 on 25,000 as input tax, 900. How much was value addition? 5,000. Value addition. I want all of you to write this, scribble below this. I'm telling you, my student Nilima, she has got 87 in tax. One more student, Jeevana, she has got 82. I'm telling you, they have cleared in 17, 18. I'm being very honest with all of you. But सबसे best part था कि if you see their material, study material, everywhere it's inked. हर जगह पे it's inked. Mohini Goel, she has got exemption in all 4 subjects in group 1, then group 2, then final. So out of 16, 15 subjects, she has got exemption. But she would write everything. So I want you all to write the way I'm making you write. 5,000 ka 18%. See, C is doing 5,000 value addition. Same for D. And then finally the consumer. Consumer has to bear all this tax. Consumer is getting finally in 38,000 and 6,840. Abhi tak we were taking the input credit. Consumer will not get the input credit. He will have to bear all the taxes like we are bearing as a consumer. I want some response from all of you whether this is clear or not. So many of you have already registered and you have paid for the recorded classes and you're watching recording after your job. तो ये dialogue आपके लिए है. Listen carefully. You can send me a message, ma'am, at 2 hour 1 minute. You have explained this not clear. Click the picture. Don't hesitate to ask your doubt. Not with me, with any teacher. If it's a small doubt, the teacher knows how to cut short. है ना? That is teacher's responsibility. Ki you don't hesitate ki I'm having silly doubt, others will have or not. It's a beautiful example. Chalo, now, why there was a need of GST? I want all of you to write here disadvantages of VAT and CST. Straight question in exam. What was the problem? Why did you wish to shift? Yeah. So, first one, non-availability of the credit of excise duty and service tax. Listen. I am a manufacturer. To manufacturer, excise duty was charged. Now I'm selling you the goods. I'm charging VAT. So on my manufacturing cost and an excise duty, VAT was charged. So tax on charge. Now I'm selling to you. You are the wholesaler. You are the not manufacturer. So I will charge VAT. Where will I set off this excise duty? Are you getting? So there was no set off benefit like we have input output tax. Non-availability of the extent. Now I'm not going to read word to word. That 6 pages you have to read because 6 marks question is mandatory as from chapter 1. See, there will be some classes, dear students, like this. There will be some classes I will be just solving the questions of value of supply, time of supply, pura practical. Huh? But there will be some classes like ITC first class is core concept, section 16, 17, 18. Yeah. No credit of the CST. In the absence of credit CST, कोई input tax credit नहीं है. No credit of the VAT to service provider. You are a service provider. You are repairing vehicles. But then you are paying VAT and all on engine oil. समझ में आ रहा है, but you are not getting credit. Double taxation, tax on tax. On excise duty also we were charging VAT. High compliance cost, lot of taxes were there. In Maharashtra state, when you enter the state, state के बाहर ही toll रहता. So you have to pay the octroi and entry tax and lot of compliances and lot of kind of taxes. Like I'm manufacturer, I have to pay excise duty, I have to keep VAT records for intrastate, for interstate CST records, and then for some services. So how many kind of taxes I was paying? This was the reason we opted for GST. GST is a value added tax. Your example, which I explained you now, jitna value add karoge, utna it will be done. So it's a value added tax. Continuous flow of the tax credits. Continuous flow of the tax credits. Yeah, A is giving to B, B to C, ऐसे चलेगा. Tax incidence is ultimately borne by the final consumer. Okay, and mitigation. There is no tax on tax cascading effect. Okay, what are the major features of the indirect taxes? What was this concept? Now features. Of course, they can overlap. ये भी तो features ही हुए ना. It's a value added tax. It's continuous flow and all. What are the features? It's a major source of revenue. Indirect collect tax collection, GST and all has surpassed the direct taxes and ratios and all. You can search in Google. I need not sit here and give you the figure, but it's one of the huge collection. I remember when we started service tax was collected only on 3 services: insurance, brokerage, and I think telephone bills. Then they started ki, oh, this is also service, that like that 100 services. Then they said negative list. All the services, service tax is charged except this. So like that, indirect tax is widened now. Whether you sell goods or whether you supply services, GST is charged. Major source of revenue for state and central government. It is levied on goods and services both. You know, even import of goods is treated as import of goods. ये आगे भी आएगा, फिर भी मैं आपको बता रही हूँ. Import of goods is treated. Import of goods. On that you are paying custom duty also, and it is treated as interstate sale. Interstate sale. And IGST is linked, import of goods, right? Shifting of the incidence of the tax. Now, what is this? Shifting of the incidence of the tax. Ultimately, it goes on shifting, no? I will collect a part and pay, you collect part, and ultimately the tax is going to be borne by consumer. But it's like shifting the burden value addition wise. Consumers do not feel the pinch of the taxes because it's all inclusive of the taxes. It leads to inflation because it is implemented. See, earlier GST was not there on the basic essential items, but now so many essential items also are covered under GST. अब इस पे भी GST. अब उस पे भी जीएसटी, अब इस पे भी. So like that, though it has become transparent and all, but it's a wide area where now GST is charged on all the products and services. Let me tell you, like simple example is person who's coming from foreign country, say a entertainer or like IPL is going on. IPL तो ठीक है, मैच में इनकम टैक्स में भी आएगा. कल ही हमने पढ़ा 194E. I'll give you one example. For example, Justin Bieber, singer, right? Or Coldplay. These kind of bands and all, they are coming and performing in India. Now, are they registered in India? No, they are not registered. But like a NRTP, they call it, non-resident taxpayer, they will have to pay the GST. For example, I'm teaching you now, every month I'm paying 1800 rupees of GST, Zoom charges with GST. Now, are the Zoom people having office in India? No. Are they collecting the GST from India? Yeah. Are they generating income from India? Yeah. When Zoom is not registered in India, how they are charging GST? Online through IPA, Internet Protocol Address. When Zoom is getting a payment from Hyderabad, from Dipti ma'am, it's seen that Zoom is getting business from India. So they are saying even if you are not registered in GST, whatever income you have earned in India, on that 18% you have to collect GST and pay to government. Zoom is saying, ma'am, मेरा input नहीं है, वो तुम्हारी मर्जी. I hope you are getting the simple logic is when you earn in India, how non-resident cricket players and all they come in IPL, pay the tax and bye bye. Like that, even in GST, there's a concept called as NRTP or IGA, non-residents and foreign people who have P, place of establishment. So by some way, I am only paying on Zoom GST and that's directly going. Zoom is getting income in foreign country. My son is writing Trinity London's exam and he's paying exam fees. Is the Trinity getting students from India? Is it giving music coaching by video online from London to India? Yeah. Are they getting income from India? Yeah. Should they pay GST? Yes. Simple. Okay. Anywhere you feel my example is not clear, you can say once again because I want you to learn with me. First feature of GST, it's a major source of collection for central and state government. It is levied on all the goods and services. The burden keeps shifting value addition wise. Consumer does not feel the pinch. It leads to inflation. Tax imposed on goods and services increases the prices of commodities, all the items are covered. जो नहीं था वो भी आ गया है. Like smallest of restaurant are also covered under 5%. And if it is a branded restaurant covered with lodging boarding 18%. Few goods in 20, but GST is to there, no? Right? It helps in promoting social welfare. I told you there are some sin goods, alcoholic liquor for human consumption, tobacco, and all which are harmful. Huh? So actually, tobacco is not covered directly under GST. It's still excise duty and all is charged. But GST is also charged. So indirectly on these kind of the products which we don't want to encourage, heavy GST is there, goods compensation cess is there. So that's the way. Right. Now, GST is regressive in nature that I've already told you. GST is implemented from 1st July, Jammu and Kashmir, 8th July, it's a destination based tax. Benefits that will accrue to country. All these are features, but out of that, some will be benefit. अब ये benefit नहीं है कि it's going to be. So now what are the benefits? Cascading effect is not there. GST is the first one to introduce output minus input tax. So there is no cascading effect. Multiple taxes and double taxations are not there. Like on excise duty also you were paying VAT. Okay. Reduction in the overall burden of the consumer. Of course, check your example. Because there is no tax on tax, the final price, of course, consumer is going to bear the final taxes. But the final price is going to reduce. More competitive products, right? Okay. We are initiating after the COVID, Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and to encourage the startups and all, lot of places GST is exempt. for the new startup for the first 5 years and all. So a lot of benefits are also there in the GST that makes our product. On import, it is treated as IGST and GST is charged. On export, GST is not there. So that our products are comparable with the world. If on output also you burden them, GST bhi do, ye bhi do, wo bhi do, how they are going to compete with the world rates? Hai na? It boosts employments and investment. Lot of manufacturing and starters have started. So obviously employment problem will be solved and more people will invest in India. It is increasing in government's revenue, highest collection. Easier administration is very simple because it's transparent. You can see the way I am underlining. Acha, one presentation trick for writing theory question. FM, SM, audit here. Every time it's not possible to write side heading and elaborate. Possible, right? If you are running short of time and you're writing in running point that it is transparent, it's a value added, whatever, then underline the clue words with same black ballpoint pen. Don't use pencil. You're not allowed to use pencil or blue pen. Black ballpoint pen से आपका exam लिखना है. And even if you're writing in points, running points, underline the clue words. Chalo. Next. Easier administration, easier, simpler. So many things are automated. The moment I sell to you, dear students, my output tax will be auto populated in your registered account. You don't have to shout on the top of your voice. Deepti ma'am se maine itna kharida, itna this is my input tax credit. No, 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 no. This is output, yours is input. Okay. Benefit to small traders, entrepreneurs. Yeah. They're getting lot of composition and all exemption. It's a dual model tax where part of the tax is going to government and part of the tax is going to state. Intrastate है तो CGST, SGST, interstate है तो IGST. Yeah, right. These are all the features. I'm just saying, just read because now what I'm teaching framework, if I teach, I want all of you to write just read covered in other chapters. In fact, I want to skip this abhi because if I start explaining, ye to I hope everyone knows. It is Union Territories, Andaman, Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Dadra and Chandigarh and now Ladakh. Now Kashmir is divided into two parts and Ladakh is a Union Territory. So it's all covered under UTGST. And state and union territories with their own legislation. These are union territories without of my geography. I'm not going to teach, but I hope you know. Delhi and Puducherry and Jammu and Kashmir. They are like union territories with their own legislation. So to all of them, GST is applicable. It's applied on goods and services. Rate of GST are given for your knowledge. No need to learn. 0.5%, 3%, 5%, 12%, 18%, and highest is 28%. Registration, I'm not explaining this in detail, but if you cross this much of turnover, you have to get registration. Composition scheme is okay. You're a small service provider, pay little tax and you are free. Wherever you see composition, section 10 of CGST Act 2017, this you will literally come and thank me after exam. Ma'am, you said I could confidently write and I got marks. This one is important. MCQ के लिए, question answer के लिए in the chapter 6. Manner of utilization of the ITC, right? Intrastate. Interstate. What is intrastate? Within the same state. What is interstate? Right. Now for this, what kind of taxes we are paying? CGST, central tax, central goods and service tax. IGST, integrated goods and service tax. SGST, state goods and service tax. Unitary, like that. Now, how it is set off is given. Can we set off IGST first in IGST? Interstate purchase, interstate sale, yes. But interstate purchase, IGST, can we set off in CGST? Yes. Acha, CGST within the state. Can we set off an output CGST? Yes. But within the state you have purchased and you are selling interstate. Can we set off CGST and IGST? Yes. SGST and UGGST, first you set off in that and then in IGST. ITC of CGST cannot be set off in SGST. CGST can be set off in CGST and IGST. SGST can be set off in SGST and IGST. IGST can be set off in IGST, but CGST and SGST cannot be set off. Not allowed. Okay? Right. This I'll take later. This is just an example of how the states and center, they get the revenue. Most important for MCQs. And even a straight theory question is asked recently in the last exam. What are the 5 items which are still excluded in GST? Still excluded in GST. Alcoholic liquor for human consumption. If you have done costing, you remember joint product, byproduct, we write here alcoholic liquor for medicines. Cough syrup and it is very well chargeable under GST. Only on alcoholic liquor for human consumption, state has got the right. I'll tell you abhi aage aayega wo legislature. State has got the right. They are still charging excise duty and VAT, which is like dead, but still they don't want to give away the right because state is like, if we don't charge the alcoholic liquor pay excise duty and VAT, how we are going to work? So the center is saying, okay, we will give you 50%. उससे हमारा क्या होगा? Right or not? Petroleum, diesel, crude oil, ATF, automated turbine fuel, it is used in aircrafts and all. Natural gas, they are not liable for, not yet notified. They are there, but yet not notified. See, this is to not there only in GST. These are there, but until now not notified that charge GST. So same continue. Tobacco. Tobacco ke upar you are paying GST also and you are paying excise duty also. That's why tobacco is like come under the sin goods. Opium, Indian hemp, narcotic drugs. Now these are not allowed to be manufactured except with permission and for a very little amount to be used in sleeping pills and all. But they are not subject to GST. They are still covered under excise duty. And this is beautiful. I have sold the house to you. Income tax, capital gain, 80 lakhs. You purchased in 80 lakhs. Stamp duty is 80 lakhs. Do we have to pay stamp duty to government? Crores of rupees of stamp duty is going to the state government. So I sold 80 lakhs rupees property to my student Giri. Now you have paid stamp duty 80 lakhs ka 10%, 8 lakhs. You got it in 88 lakhs. Now you have sold to a third party. Okay, for say 100 lakhs. Again, they have to pay GST. So can you say 100 lakhs paid, 10 lakhs is the GST, 8 lakhs I have paid to Dipti ma'am, 2 lakhs? No. The day that is allowed, no, the consumers will be saving. While purchasing and selling property, there is no set off of the stamp duty already paid. Oh, done and dusted. Khatam. 8 lakhs खा गए अभी ये 10 lakh अभी ये. So what is happening? Stamp duty is the biggest revenue again for the state government. Okay, so they don't want to give away that. So what are the 5 items on which still the stamp duty is not charged? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption, petrol, diesel, and tobacco, and opium, and the real estate. Okay. What are the taxes which are subsumed? Central excise duty, duties of excise, additional excise duty. Yeah, still excise duty is levied on tobacco and all that, but baki sab pe to nikal diya. Central sales tax, surcharge, state taxes. Luxury tax was there. Oh my God, huge. Entry tax, entertainment tax, tax on advertisement, taxes on lotteries, state surcharge. These are all removed. No GST is there. Matlab, GST is there, but these are the taxes which have been subsumed against only two things, goods and service tax. Whether you sell goods or you supply services, charge the GST. Okay? I told you they are asking you write a short note. I'm going little enough low because already I have explained this in the first half. GST, please यहाँ लिखो short note. Hope you all are having the printout of the material. Otherwise, waste listening to my class. Hard copy se padho. Don't say I'm very smart. I will read with a soft copy and laptop. It's having a different kind of impact. So hard copies are necessary, beta. A GST compensation cess at specified rate has been imposed. Cess is levied on all the luxury items, pan masala, tobacco, cigars, cigarette, coal, lignite, aerated waters, motor cars, luxuries, and all. Cess is computed on the value of supply. Cess is levied in addition to the GST. Taxpayer can use ITC of the cess in output. Input compensation says GST compensation says can be set off in output compensation. That's not a problem. But beyond that, ma'am, can we set off the output compensation cess mein IGST and SGST and all? Answer is no. I hope you are getting. Compensation says you have to pay to government. But if you have also paid compensation to compensation, it's allowed. For taxpayers registered in composition scheme, cess is not applicable. In this, there is an amendment I already told you. The council, all the act has been made in 2017. But what I am teaching you, there's a GST council who says, okay, from this date, ispe GST lagega. This is exempt. This form will be used. This limit is changed. Like we are actually in right now in 25-26 financial year. So turnover exceeds this limit, you have to give the invoice in 30 days. That's the latest amendment yesterday. Not applicable, but I'm just saying. So all that amendments are given by GST Council. Okay, right. So GST Council is giving all that amendments, and so they gave the amendment. If GST compensation cess will be applicable till March 26. However, there is no obligation. No obligation to give any compensation to the states. Goods and service tax portal. Two things now we have to cover, very important but very simple. How does the GSTN portal work? Now listen all of you, I'll tell you the gist and then you please study it the way it is given, wo bhi padhenge. GSTN portal. Now, we know that, okay, I have to apply for registration. I have to make GST payment, output, input. I have to file my monthly return. Where do I do all this? Gone are the days, physical office is there. Of course, it's there, ma'am, in Hyderabad, a big office. Aikar Bhavan, GST Bhavan is there. So many people are working there. But as a registered person, my communication with the department, with the government is through a portal. That portal is made by a software company, Infosys, I guess, and they have made it user friendly. Like how I want to give this recorded lecture to you also. What's the portal I'm using? YouTube. I have signed in YouTube and I'm asking my team. I have kept a paid team. उसको भी पेमेंट देते हैं और उसके थ्रू आई एम अपलोडिंग एवरीथिंग तो आई कैन नॉट डू स्टडी मार्क टाइप अपलोड. So I'm using a like YouTube is a portal to upload long lectures. Insta is a portal to upload reels and small content. Like that, GST is a portal which is basically used for three things: registration, payment, and third one is return filing. Okay. Now, if I am a huge मेरा बिजनेस बहुत बड़ा है, इट्स इन करोड़, 500 करोड़ के ऊपर नहीं है, just giving an example. If my business is huge, then after every month I have to upload my invoices and output and input. So there is one more portal GST has that is called as invoice report uploading. invoices details are to be uploaded within the month only. Okay. And then they do the set off, and automatically whatever I am saying, this is output tax for me, and I have sold the goods to my registered buyer Venkat, it will come automatically in your input. So this auto populated, auto things, auto this things, this thing is all done on GSTN portal. Okay. Of course, they are taking help of people. Like we have GSPs. Ma'am, अब ये चीज क्या है? GSPs are GST Suvidha Providers. This is a Hindi name given. Suvidha Providers, a helper. I don't have to go to the electricity department and pay my bill. I can go to any e-seva, me-seva and pay my bills, utility bills. In the same way, GST portal, I am a layman. I know how to do business, but I don't know to go to portal and fill up the form and OTP will come and blah. वो सब आप करो ना मेरे लिए. Who are आप? Who are you? You are GST service providers. Like in income tax also, we have 10 facilitation centers area wise like that. Example I'll give you of the GST service providers are like Clear Tax. Clear Tax is a separate entity who is helping you to pay your GST and compliances. There are many people, CA, CMAs, advocates, they're all doing that. But those who are registered Subhida providers, is one of them is like Clear Tax. You all got it? Huh? So additional Subhida providers, these all people help for you to comply on the portal. Everything is online. If you have to raise the complaint, you get the ticket number, you get the reply in your mail and all, and then the ticket is, it's all in a very formal way. How do we buy the goods on Amazon? Your good is packed, it's dispatched, it has reached Hyderabad, it's going to reach you. ये सब कितना auto mode पे चल रहा है. That's the same way the portal works. Okay, right. So let us quickly see now this detail. GSTN portal stands for Goods and Service Tax Network. Okay, it's a special purpose vehicle company incorporated. Yeah, and portal is managed by private people, but they are working for government. www.gst.gov.in. It's a GST website managed by the government. Separate किसी को outsource किया हुआ है on that. Okay, and then we have to generate way bill, like in what vehicle I'm loading the goods and sending on the portal, or IRP. I told you, invoice registration portal. It's very difficult that after April month I will upload my 500 invoice. Can I keep uploading now? Yeah. For that they have given a separate, that is called as invoice registration portal for uploading e-invoices. All these are working online. All registered dealers with aggregate of PAN, with one PAN, and their turnover is exceeding 5 crores, they have to generate e-invoice, e-way bill. Now what is E is electronic invoice and e-way bill, not in your Tally software in the government portal. So for all that you will need. This is important for MCQ. GSTN portal gives 3 front-end services. I'm saying this for the 3rd time. My technique of teaching is whatever is important, make you learn. And I hope you are understanding the concept also. But there is so much extra debate or ye and wo, all that के लिए I don't want to waste your and my energy. वो आप Google में पढ़ लेना. Exam के बाद if you check 2-3 YouTube lectures, you will understand the realistic aspect of GST and all. Okay. GSTN gives 3 front-end services: registration, one-time payment every month, and the return. Okay. Functions of GST: facilitating registration, helping in filing return, settling dues, matching the tax payment, other reports, how much money will go to center and how much to state, providing analysis to the taxpayers, and running the matching engine and refunds and all they will prefer. For that, they will take help of the GST Suvidha providers, and ASPs is application service providers. If you want, you can write the example of Clear Tax. Okay, right. Now, constitutional provisions. Okay. See, when we are saying that until now on income, you were charging income tax as per Income Tax Act 1961. Like we have Chartered Accountants Act 1949. Ab exam also, when they had to make from 2 to 3 times the foundation and inter exam, they had to amend the act. Like that, in India, or everything is governed in this. I have detailed, I have taught you in DT also. Like 3 lists are there. List 1 covers all the power which are there exclusive with central government, your income tax, custom duty and all. State list may still we have VAT and excise and all. And list 3 is concurrent list where both can do it together. Okay. Entry NT2. This is for MCQs. अब इसमें आपको you'll have to mug up this part, that entry 82 to 92 list enumerates the central government powers and 45 to 63 is the state government. Now, because we wanted to introduce the GST Act in 2017, then we have added in the constitution. Okay, we have amended 101 Act 2016. Now 101 rupees cover we give, no, in birthdays and all. Wedding में don't say 101, बहुत कम हो जाएगा. So 101 constitution amendment we made in 2016 to get GST implemented from 2017. Are you all with me? Yeah. Article 246A of the Constitution empowers the center and state to levy and collect the GST. Right. Article 269. So all the power, second hand, dear students. Yeah, that those 2 examples which I didn't cover, that how much money will go to the state and all, that you read it, I'll cover in tomorrow's class. But all the power to collect the tax and all, that is given by adding Article 246A empowers central and state government to collect GST. But the procedural part, power to de diya, but kaise hoga? The levy and collection is given in Article 269A. There are many articles given in your study material. No need to learn it. Article 246A. Okay? It empowers your center and state. And Article 269A. It empowers your procedural part. This much you remember. Okay? Last part now. GST Council is more important. Like whenever there is any change in the Income Tax Act 1961, we bring it in the form of Finance Act. Which is Finance Act applicable for our exam, dear students? Finance Act 24, financial year 24-25, assessment year 25-26. Already Finance Act 25 has come. Budget has come in the February, presented by Finance Minister. So that's for practical application 25-26. But for our exam now, what is our financial year? 24-25. So in income tax, any amendments are to be done. They are given by the Finance Minister, proposed in the form of budget, approved by both the houses of parliament, and then president, and then it becomes the Finance Act 2024. In GST, there is a group of people sitting, including Finance Minister. It's called as GST Council. Because it's technical, it requires a lot of analysis, and GST is new. So we started the GST Act in 2017, 1st July, and it is still governed by CIBIC, excuse me, highest authority. But whatever changes are to be made, okay, on this no GST, this is exempted. On this now not 18%, 28%. Okay, this is. In fact, if you have seen my GST amendment lecture for the May, June, whatever I have discussed, it's the GST Council meeting. They have decided, okay, from this date, this will be like this. From this date. So that's what is the work of GST Council. In exam, 2 questions are asked for GST Council. Who are the members of GST Council and how much is the quorum and the voting right and all. So that's what I will cover here. See, GST Council. Okay, the president has formed this GST Council, and in GST Council it will be headed by the Finance Minister as the chairman, Union Minister of the state of revenue or finance member. Every state's union minister and the finance will be there as a part of this, and minister in charge finance of nominated by each of the state government. Okay, so this one and this will be 28 and all this like that. These many peoples are there in the council. Vice chairman is the state finance ministers shall choose once among themselves as the vice chairman. 28 states finance minister of every state are the part of the GST council. Out of that, anyone will be the chairman. And this is a simple logic, but this is asked as theory question. What is the role of council? Yeah, role of council is to make recommendation on taxes, cess, surcharges, state and local authority. What will be exempted, model of GST, threshold limit, rates, special rate, special provisions for that 10 states. I call it as MUSPAT. मैं आपको बताऊंगी ये states के नाम कैसे याद रखना है, and any other matter. In short, GST Council will decide the rates, the exemptions, the applicable, the payment, the model, and the special freedoms and limits and all. Okay? State will, council will decide, okay, आज से petrol will come under GST and we will get petrol instead of 110 rupees at 50 rupees. होने नहीं वाला है. Right? And quorum part you mark it important. 1/2 of the total number of the members of the council shall constitute the quorum. 28 state finance minister and that state minister put together. If 50% of total members are there, GST council will be in action and they can take the decision. Every decision of the GST council is taken by 3/4 of the majority of the weighted votes. Central government shall have the weight of 1/3 of the total votes, and votes of the state government shall have the weight of 2/3. Now, how this in-depth maths I can explain, but not required. Okay, so that's all for our first chapter. I hope you understood what is intrastate, what is interstate, how set off, what is FCM, what is RCM, what are the terms. The base level we have done. Only thing I have skipped now is that one question I have given, that how the revenue goes to center and state. That frankly speaking, that is not going to be asked in exam. आपके syllabus में they have given as dialogue, but when you do it with example, you are clear कि okay, if 1800 I am collecting, 900 is going to center, 900 is going to state. So that makes our 6th chapter very easy. Okay, so I will explain it. We will continue tomorrow. Register for this batch, fill up the form, it's free. I'm not going to charge anything if you're attending it live. It's there from 11 to 1:30 every day, including Sundays. And if you want recording of this or you want to buy this material, then you have to make payment. सब चीज फ्री में नहीं मांगना, dear students. Lot of expenditures are incurred. That's one reason, and I don't know whether I should say or not. When you invest a money with a teacher, you are very serious about it. You will take work rather than taking everything for free. Okay, that's for your working, for my working. Test papers are all included in this. As and how we finish two chapters, I'll say test papers are already uploaded for DT. 8 quality good question papers, suggested answer, and the paper correction video is also there. If you don't want to take DT coaching, you can just go for the test series also. All that is there in the app. You can download the app. Link is there in the description. And yeah, we'll continue tomorrow with definitions. Thank you that your capital gain lectures are awesome. One more thing. I didn't have to say all of you are saying thank you, thank you, thank you. अच्छी बात है. When you attend a lecture with the teacher, the moment class is over, अभी तो teacher कर रहे हैं, उसके पहले the students are going out, signing out and cut, they are out of it. Don't do that. Say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am saying thank you that you have shown your trust that I can teach you best, right? And of course, capital gain, all the lectures are free. Even the material is available in the website, free resources. Apart from that, CA Foundation, all the lectures are free. CMA final tax lectures. These are my two good areas. But I want all of you to score marks, so it's available. Share it with your friends. Definitely bang on. I'm saying if you're in CMA Inter, just watch BRS, journal entry, the final accounts topic. You will learn things like anything because I know how I have worked when I've got 95 accounts. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching the lecture till end. Be committed not to miss a single class. We'll continue tomorrow at the same time. Bye bye.